Hey there, what's going on? If you are watching this video, it does mean that you are not only interested in ChatGPT, but maybe perhaps you've never heard of ChatGPT before, or even you may have found yourself hearing about it, dabbing in it a little bit, but not really too sure how you feel about it, or maybe you're looking for some fresh ideas and you're like myself, because I honestly have been using ChatGPT for well over 2 years now. And I could not even thank my friend enough for the fact that she is the one introduced me. They're the one that introduced me to ChatGPT, honestly. I never have ever heard of it prior to that before. I know it's been around for a while. But here's the thing, y'all, is that yes, if you are not currently using it and you've gone to it's ChatGPT, I believe, .com, if I'm not mistaken, you'll see it here in a little bit. I've also been told it's an app, so you can download it onto your phone. I've been using the site for, like I said, well over 2 years now. I don't really see myself going to the app. I honestly have enough apps that I use as it is. So I like the idea of the website. It's comfort for me. However, to each their own, do whatever works for you. Um, but I want to discuss a couple of things having to do with ChatGPT before we actually share my screen, because once I share my screen, I'm more likely going to go away. You're not going to be able to see my face anymore. So I figured I'd go ahead and give y'all a little bit of build up until I share my screen. This video is not really going to take too long because honestly, when it comes down to using ChatGPT, it is an open book. It's a blank canvas. Pretty much, if you're familiar with Canva or anything similar to that, it's pretty much kind of the same concept where, other than the fact that obviously on Canva you have templates, but it's like if you have a blank screen and it's like the world is your oyster. As corny as that sounds, it's basically when you have a need, or if you find yourself struggling with verbiage or wording or planning something, or if you're a Cincy consultant and you're like, I don't know what to post, where do I start? I'm a new consultant, or I've been around for a while and I want to stand out more and I want my personality to shine, but I just don't know what to say. Or if you're like myself with spicy brain, y'all, I got spicy brain. So for me, I have all these ideas up here, all these things that I want to share and say and do, but I'm on the struggle bus as far as trying to figure out like how to articulate it, put it down into words. I have all these ideas just up here, right? But reality is, I can't do all of it at once, right? And I want to have somewhere that I can actually have it permanently saved to where I can archive it, I can come back to it. I'm huge on lists, y'all, and sticky notes, and I use my calendar on my phone and all the things. I have alarms set, etc. But here's the thing is that I just love the fact that, and again, you'll see it here in a little bit, that with ChatGPT, not only is it endless as far as what you can do with it, but then you can name it so you can easily go back to it and refer back to it. Um, I personally will, and I'll show you how to do this in a little bit. When I do have what I need at the moment, I will actually copy and paste it to the notes part on my phone. So if you have something similar, like a notepad, sticky notes, whatever, virtually on your phone, that is honestly hands down my go-to. The reason being is that once I have on ChatGPT down what I want to say and I save it to my notes on my phone, I'm then able to save it on the notes and then copy and paste it individually to where I need it to go. And again, that'll make a little bit more sense here in a little bit. But I want you to grab a pen and paper because before I show you my examples of what I do with ChatGPT, I really want you to pause this video and I want you to get your pen and paper, notebook, whatever this looks like for you. But I want you to make not a long list, but maybe like three, I would say maybe 2 to 3 things that come to mind, or maybe things that you're struggling with when it comes to the verbiage. So, for example, it could be that. You're wanting to focus more on Cincy Club. If you're a Cincy consultant, you're wanting to focus more on Cincy Club. That's where I'm at going into March, honestly. This new season and this new year, I want to focus more on Cincy Club. I want more clubbers. So that's where the verbiage for me, I'm going to know I want a variety of ways to approach my customers, and how do I post things online on social media? How can I text my customers out, email them, etc. With Cincy Club, what does that look like? And how many different ways can I reword it without actually like overworking myself? Work smarter, not harder, right? It could also be that you are wanting to reach out and network. If you're, whether you're a Cincy consultant or you're watching this and you're in a completely different industry, or you have a different job, or you're watching this for another reason, it could be that you're wanting to network more, that you're wanting to connect with more clients, more customers. Write that down. If you're like myself, again, spicy brain, I don't always want to take the time to meal plan. I don't want to come up with dinners all the time for my husband and I. So I will show you here in a little bit how I love utilizing ChatGPT, not all the time, but sometimes to supplement meals out, to give me ideas. So it could be that you're wanting help with meal planning. It could be that you're wanting to connect more with your customers or your team members in a way that's showing up authentically, non-salesy, that you want to take a spin on it, maybe perhaps, and I'll show you this with positive quotes, that you're wanting to reconnect with your customers, you're wanting to reconnect with your team members. It could also be that you're wanting to, if you're on social, so if you're on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, TikTok, mostly this will work for really, like, honestly, like Instagram and Facebook, but you're wanting to create more interactive post. You're wanting to get your algorithm boost a little bit higher. So you want to do maybe something along those lines. And I'm going to show you that here in a little bit. That's so simple. And again, you can show up authentically as you. Because ChatGPT, here's the thing, is that what's so important to keep in mind about this is the more consistent you are with using it, the longer you use it, and the more detailed you are on the questions that you're asking it. Because keep in mind that even though it's an app or a website, it basically is like an AI chatbot. So what that means is that the more information that you're feeding it about what you're wanting from it, it's going to learn from you, and it's going to learn what are the things that make you not only who you are as a person, as a consultant, but also what are your interests? What do you like? How does your personality and your voice come through verbiage? And to me, that by far, y'all, is the most important part, because I don't want you to have this copy and paste mentality when it comes to duplicating yourself from other consultants, from other people that you're seeing on social networks, whether they're a Cincy consultant, whether they're somebody that you follow, that you're just really passionate about, that maybe their job is in the social network business. I don't want you to be a copy and paste version of them, because I want you to learn and practice and know how to stand out, how to be yourself, how to be an individual. But what's really nice is that I think of ChatGPT as kind of like my virtual assistant, because even though I have all these ideas up here, even though there's things that I come up with that I'm like, shiny things, right? I'm squirreling all the time. I'm a dog with squirrels all the time, where I'm like, oh, I want to do that. Oh, I want to do that. But the fact of the matter is, the reality is that that is not going to get me anywhere, because I want to focus on individual things. I want to put my all into at least 2 things this catalog season, and I don't want to stretch myself out. I've learned that that just does not work for me. I would much rather put my time and my energy into what my individual goals are, what I want to focus more on for the time being. And that could be for a couple months, it could be for a catalog season, whatever that looks like for you. But the truth is that it's a gold mine, y'all. It has not only saved me mentally, it has given me back time. It's helped me to stand out a little bit more, and it's given me content that I can share and do, whether it's through texting, emailing, posting on social networks, to where my voice is still coming through, my personality is still coming through. But at the end of the day, it's like I said, it's an assistant. It's helping me, especially because I love so much that I can actually use the mic on ChatGPT, because I am, again, I have spicy brain, ADHD girl over here. Anybody, can you relate? So what I love is being able to press that mic, and even though I have a Southern accent, even though I tend to be sometimes scatterbrained all over the place when it comes to my ideas, I can click on that microphone, chat away like it's the end of the world. And I love that ChatGPT will take that with a grain of salt and then articulate it, and then come up with like, okay, I get what you're, where you're going. Here's what we can do. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys So bear with me for a second. And if you have any individual questions, again, when it comes to ChatGPT, feel free to reach out to me one-on-one, whether it's here on YouTube. You can get with me through Instagram, Facebook, etc. And we can, I don't know, we can come up with some ideas. I'd love to help you out. All right, so let's go ahead and share my screen. Let's start now. Let's get back over here. All right, ChatGPT, let's go. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the main screen. Okay, so here's a couple things that I drummed up for you guys. And again, hopefully you've already jotted down your ideas. But here's some in case you're kind of feeling stuck and you're like, I don't really know what to write down. Okay, so right out the gate, the first couple things that I thought about business-wise is, for one, hosting party offers through February, March-ish. All right, so the way your screen's going to work, before we jump ahead, sorry y'all, let's start back from the beginning. So the way your screen's going to work, let me go, supposed to be here. Yeah, there we go. So that's what your screen's going to look like. So again, the website is chatgpt.com. Also, like I said, there is an app if you want to download that. I honestly, all those little bubbles that you see up top where it's like create image, help me write, surprise me. I haven't really messed with any of that. I just go straight to the point. So you're going to, just like Google, you're going to click on where it says message ChatGPT. And this is where you're going to type in your question. Like I said, I personally like to go to my keyboard. I'll click on voice input and then I'll just chat away. But in the meantime, I'm going to show you all real quick the examples that I came up with, and then we'll discuss each of them. So for example, coming off of, if you are a Scentsy consultant and you are currently watching this, or honestly, if you're in any, business that's similar to Scentsy, this can help you out as well. So, like I said, the more information, the more detail that you give it in your question or what you're wanting from ChatGPT, the better. So, for example, as you're seeing here, and you're probably already reading along or you're ahead, I asked GPT to give me 5 different examples of what to say to a new customer about hosting a party with me in March. I wanted to mention the release of our new spring catalog and that we'll receive a product, they'll receive a product of their choice for half the price. I'm open during the week of March 9th and the 23rd. Now, obviously, this is going to look a little bit different from person to person. Now, if you're questioning, okay, what is the product of their choice for half off, that's actually the incentive, that the additional host credit, perpetual host credit, that's included whenever you have a qualifying party on your workstation of $200 or more. So that is actually not a personal special, just FYI, if you're a new consultant. That is actually something that's already included when you have your host has a qualifying party. However, you could definitely tweak this to make it more personal if you wanted to offer a personal special, and that can look different in so many ways. But again, the more detailed in your question, the better. Also, obviously, for me, the week of March 9th and the week of the 23rd is when I'm open. This specific question, definitely when you're reaching out to your customers, just want like a little nugget of information, the more detailed that you are with your customer, not necessarily in the verbiage of what you're sending to them, but the more details, the more clarity that you're giving them for what you're asking of them, the better. The more vague you are, I guarantee you from personal experience, you're not really going to get as quick of a response, or perhaps maybe the response that you're looking for. So the more details that you can give them, the specific dates that you're wanting to have a party, or the week that you're wanting to book. The month is fine, but the more specific, the better. So let's scroll on down. So this is what ChatGPT said. They said, here are 5 different ways that you can invite a new customer to host a Scentsy party with you in March. So I'm absolutely not going to read through like all of these because, like I said, I want to keep this training short and sweet, but you get the point. It's literally listing out 5 different ways that I can copy and paste the verbiage and text it out to my customers. Now, of course, this is something that you could definitely copy and paste to your social pages. So again, Instagram, Facebook. But for me, honestly, and this is like a whole nother training in itself, I'm not going to fight the algorithm anymore at this point this year. So I find that just reaching out to my customers one-on-one, it's definitely going to help me get to them faster, whether it's through text, whether it's through email, way more than social. Now, obviously, it's a little bit different if you're private messaging them through Instagram or Facebook. That's different. But I just love that it gives me a variety of options that I can go through and message my customers. And then this would be according to maybe perhaps your relationship that you have with that customer. Now, for me, granted, I honestly would utilize all 5 of these. And this would definitely be something that I would copy and paste out to my customers at least like once a week. So it talks about, and I love that it gives themes. So it's like spring into new scents. It's talking about the new catalog. It's giving a theme for a party. So girls' night with a fragrance twist, March Madness. So it's tying in scent with that as well. I love that it's again sip, sniff, and save. Hosting a Scentsy party in March means you'll get a first-hand access to a brand new spring catalog. Again, what you're noticing if you're looking at the verbiage is that it's pretty much utilizing what I told it, but I love, love, love that it's actually rewording it. It's keeping to the authentic way that of what I want to say, how I want to come through to my customer. But I absolutely love how it's tweaking it just a little bit, but not straying too far away within the 5. Now, obviously, again, the more detailed, the better. So, for example, you don't have to stick with 5. Like you could do a whole month's worth. So I personally like to post at least 2 to 3 times a week on my Facebook personal page, as far as Scentsy content is concerned. So if you were sharing to social, then you could say, like, if I'm keeping with 3 times a week and I'm doing the month, then you could say, for example, give me 12 different examples of what to say to a new customer. Again, that's going to look different depending upon how often you're reaching out to your customers or where you're putting this verbiage. It does not have to be verbatim what I asked it. This training mostly is just to give you an examples of what you can use ChatGPT for and what does that look like. So just scrolling down, as you can see, it talks about, spring refresh Scentsy style. And again, if you're familiar with March Madness, it ties in March Madness, but make it scented. I thought that was super cute. Now, obviously, as you can see here, ChatGPT, what I love so much is that it dives deeper if you're wanting it to. So, for example, it asked me, let me know if you want me to tweak any of these or these to match your style better. So let's go ahead and move on. So let's go to the next thing that I asked. So one of the things that I'm definitely focusing on this new season, like I said earlier, was Scentsy Club. So what I asked it to give me was I asked it to provide, there we go. I asked it to give me 6 days of captions that focus on Scentsy Club and its perks. So the question that I asked prior was messages that I can text one-on-one to my customers. This is if you're wanting to share, copy and paste share to your social pages. So this is pretty much going to be posts that I would schedule out to go either on like Instagram or Facebook, mostly Facebook. So I asked it again, 6 captions. So it's like, here are 6 days of captions highlighting Scentsy Club and its perks. Now, one thing I want to go ahead and preface and say that when it comes to Scentsy content, specifically Scentsy products, you definitely want to go over whatever it is that you're copy and pasting, whatever ChatGPT is providing, just to make sure that it's accurate. I will say the really nice thing is that I've noticed within the last year since using ChatGPT for almost a little over 2 years now, that it's definitely heading in the direction where it's a little bit more refined. So in other words, it's getting a lot more familiar with Scentsy products and staying true to what our products not only do, but the facts, like the more important things that we have to, share and talk about. Specifically, for example, like the premium diffuser, the air purifiers. One thing that I've noticed too is that there's a lot more consultants that are using ChatGPT, which is actually working in our favor because that means that ChatGPT in itself is getting a lot more information on a day-to-day basis because more and more consultants are utilizing it. But like I said, the more that you use it and the more that you add to the content as far as what you're asking, your voice will come through. And even if more consultants start using ChatGPT, you're still going to stand out because your personality comes through, like what you're asking or the details that you're giving it. All right, so let's go further now. So again, it's just providing me with Like, I love the details. I love that ChatGPT even adds in like the cute little emojis that I use. I love that it's highlighting specific words as well. But this would definitely be something. I'm gonna scroll right here. If you look right below where it says, would you like any of these tweaked to match your style even more? So before we go further down, see where it has like the two little pieces of paper on the far left? That's basically where, and I'm gonna click on it. Hopefully it'll show y'all. Yeah, see where it says copy? So it copied to my clipboard. So that means that I would go into my notes on my phone and I would copy and paste it and then save it. So that way I have access to it. Otherwise, you are more than welcome just to keep it here. The only downfall of it is that I haven't been able to figure out how to individually highlight what I'm wanting. So that's why I like to copy it here and then add it to my notes. Hopefully that makes sense. So let's go a little further down. Also, just real quick, I want to note that it adds in really cute trending tags as well, which is really awesome. All right, so this one I actually wanted a little bit more depth on. So when it did ask me if I wanted to go a little further, I asked it, can you give me a list of how I can stage a photo for each caption? So not only is the verbiage with ChatGPT that they're providing you going to elevate you as a consultant and help you stand out more, but you can take it to the next level because it's going to walk you through step by step, y'all, on how to create a photo and stage it. And it does not take long at all. Like, I actually spent a lot of time doing this, or actually I shouldn't say that because it didn't take a lot of time. I actually used ChatGPT for this for Instagram because I've really been wanting to get more creative with my content. And so this was a lot of fun doing this this past month. I had a really good, really had a lot of fun with it in January. All right, so not to make y'all dizzy or anything, but let's focus on number one. So number one, it says always get my bar. Day one, perk. I'm actually, side note, I'm actually using this for the month of March. So this would be something that I didn't want to overwhelm y'all with the list, but I actually plan on pretty much, I would say, about every other day, maybe every 3 days, sharing a perk on Facebook, or even through email of like why Club is highly recommended, like why I love Club and its perks. So let's go ahead and talk about day one. So day one, it says always get my bar. Ever had a scent you love disappear? With Scentsy Club, you never have to say goodbye. Add your favorite bars, and we'll keep making them just for you, even after they retire. And of course, again, it includes popular trending tags. So I'm going to scroll down because I did again ask it to help me set up how I would want a image, stage an image to go with the caption. So this is not what you're going to copy and paste. It's just directions as far as the content that you're creating. Okay. So after we went over what we just said, so we're again talking about always get my bar, and that being one of the perks of Scentsy Club. So the photo idea, it's telling you that you want to hold up a discontinued wax bar or multiple bars with a speech bubble sticker. So this would obviously be geared towards stories. So what's really cool, and I will say this, is that I've noticed that because I do ask ChatGPT sometimes to give me captions for like stories, reels, posts. It has actually remembered that. And that's why you'll see it's coming across in each of these descriptions on how to do each post, where it's not necessarily geared towards just post. So this idea setup, for example, is for your stories, which I think is just so cool. So back to what it was asking us to do. It's asking us to hold up a wax bar or multiple bars. We're going to take a photo, right? Then when you share it to your story, while you're editing your story, you're going to add a speech bubble sticker saying, saved by Scentsy Club. So cute. Or you can say, you can't get me unless you have Scentsy Club. Then it adds in an extra little like tidbit suggestion. It says bonus, show a mix of current and retired bars to highlight the perk. So for example, my Scentsy Club just was delivered today. So this is definitely because I only get my Scentsy Club bi-monthly, so every 2 months. So this is definitely something I'm going to work on this weekend, is even if I'm not going to share the photo until this next month, I'm going to have that photo ready to go because it's my wax bars that I get through Club. So I love the fact that it's given me the idea of showing the plethora bars. And let's be honest, if you got Scentsy Club, I've got I've got some bars in my club, y'all. So it says show a mix of current and retired bars to highlight the perk. So the way that would look is that you can actually don't overthink it. So you can actually just get your wax bars. Doesn't have to be a perfect little group, but put them in like a group setting, like on a table or countertop, and then snap your photo. And this is like a whole nother training for another time. And again, if you have questions, let me know. But I love the fact that when you're creating a story that you can add a photo on top of a photo. And again, if you're not sure how to do that, reach out and ask me. But I love that you can do that because I can actually share. So one of my bars that, for example, that I recently added to Club is Winterberry Apple Tea. So I'm going to take a picture of me holding Winterberry Apple Tea, but then also the photo on a photo will be the grouping of wax bars that are in my Scentsy Club. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, we're not going to go through all of these, but you get the idea. It's walking you through in depth how you can set up your post. Another one, for example, day 3 is hassle-free delivery. Again, this is totally something I can do now because I haven't opened up my box from Club. It says pose by your front door with a Scentsy box, looking excited as if you just received happy mail. Another option would be a cozy unboxing shop with bars, laundry products, or body care spilling out. Gosh, y'all, I mean, is this not like the coolest thing ever? Like, I can seriously nerd out all day, every day, just talking about ChatGPT, if you can already tell. All right, so let's just move on. So one thing that I focused more this past at the end of this last year, going into now this year, is spreading more positivity and uplifting not only my customers but my team members. Now, again, I'm not going to pull these out of thin air every day, all day, because I want more time. I want to buy more time back. So this is where ChatGPT can really help me out and again help me stand out more and get more creative. So I asked to give me 7 days. Sorry, y'all, if y'all can't see me, I had to take a swig of my sparkling water. Okay, so I asked to give me 7 days of positive and uplifting quotes with some corny puns because y'all, I love me some puns. So again, that's tying in my personality. So corny puns that I can send to my team members. So something that I have started doing at the end of last year that I took from my awesome friend Patty Lawley. If y'all know her, she's definitely somebody you want to get to know because she's pretty awesome. But a note that I took from her was just this, how she's sharing photos of not only her on a weekly basis with her team members and her customers, but also tying in like a positive quote. So this year or this going to this new month, I really want to tie in my personality, and I'm very corny. I'm very out there. I love standing out. So these are definitely going to help me with that. And I love how I can stage a photo of myself with the quote. So like, for example, I love where it says, like the second one here, where it says, you're the zest instead of you're the best. Squeeze the most out of today and make it as bright as your potential. So, not that you need to do this, but I'm just extra. So I actually legit do have like some fake yellow lemons, or I actually do have some real lemons in the refrigerator. But you can literally take a picture of the lemons. Like for me, I plan on just to paint a picture for y'all, is I plan on taking the lemons and I could, for example, put them up to my face, to my eyes, have set my photo up, take it, set the timer at a like 2-second, 5-second interval on my phone, snap the photo. And I love creating the quote and image in Canva. So it's like one full image, if that makes sense. And then I'll send it to my customers and my team members. And these you could definitely double down and send to both because they're not really geared to one or the other. But I just love, and again, I just was very specific. So I asked it to give me 7 days worth. Now granted, this is something I usually do, I would say about once a day. It doesn't matter what day you do it on, but I do it once a day. For me personally, I just like to do it on Tuesdays because I always feel like Monday's kind of an extension of Sunday. So Tuesday is when my week basically kicks off. So that's when my team members and my customers will get these. So yeah, so there's that. So again, just to regroup, cover that. That was just like uplifting quotes. And again, you don't have to type in the question verbatim how I typed it in. This is just examples that you can use ChatGPT for. All right, next up. So, being that we are currently in February, I asked ChatGPT to give me 7 days of this or that having to do with fragrance and Valentine's. So, this is if you're wanting to help boost your algorithm on your socials. This is if you're wanting, even if you have like a VIP group, if you have an online party going on. Even though there are interactive questions that consultants come up with, which is so awesome. Every now and then, I do like doing this with ChatGPT, so I stand out a little bit more. And it's not at all what other consultants or other customers are seeing. So I like that it did, as you can see, tie in fragrance and Valentine's. So, for example, and this is something you would type out just verbatim. For example, on Facebook, just type it out and then pick a fun little colored background to go with it. And then I absolutely love, again, scheduling out my post. For me personally, it's just like 3 times a week. But this is something you could utilize in multiple spots, like I said, whether it's an online party, VIP group, personal page, whatever it looks like. Um, you can honestly even send this out to your team members through the week just to break it up from the everyday mundane things that you might be, talking to them about. So this would create just some fun kind of snap out of it, for them to have just something fun, different, to reach out, to your customers or your team members with. So, for example, I love that it's asking for sweet and spicy. So where it says day one, sweet or spicy, you don't want to type that out. All you would do is just type out the question. It's just giving you a theme. So I really wouldn't necessarily worry about the theme. But you would just type out or copy and paste. Would you rather wear a sweet candy like scent or something spicy and bold? Now, obviously, after today, it's if you didn't already know this, I'm recording this on Valentine's Day, literally. So obviously, you would want to tweak that question, where it doesn't necessarily say Valentine's Day. It could just literally say, sweet candy like scent or something spicy and bold. Question mark. But again, it just gives a whole list, and these are things like I said, you can either edit it once you copy and paste it to make it sound a little bit more like you. Otherwise, like I said, I've been using this for over 2 years, so a lot of this definitely already does sound like me. So there's that. This is definitely off the topic of like Scentsy things, social network customers. So one thing that I mentioned before was that I do struggle sometimes with meal planning, and I just don't want to take the time to sit down and do it. So I let ChatGPT do it for me. Now, granted, it's just actually my husband and I. We have fur babies, but not everybody's family looks like that. I know a lot of my team members, for example, have kids, have grandkids. So that's why I gave it a little bit different example, for those of y'all that are watching the training. So I asked it to give me a week's worth of easy dinners for a family of 4 with 2 picky kids. Now, again, this question that you're asking for dinners, the more specific, the better. So, for example, if one of your family members or for yourself, you have food allergies, you want to include that. Or if you could, I mean, gosh, like y'all, the possibilities are endless as far as what you could ask it. Um, or one thing that I love to do too is include where you're ordering your groceries. So I'm in Texas and we have Aldi, we've got HEB. Those are the 2 stores I focus on more where I get my groceries. So I would ask it, give me a week's worth of easy dinners from HEB or from Aldi for a family of 4 with 2 picky kids, which I love. Now, if you wanted to, once it answers this, you could actually ask it for more detail. So for example, you could say, give me cooking instructions. However, as you'll see through a lot of these recipes that are provided, you really don't need cooking instructions. It's pretty self-explanatory. So, and I love to, y'all look at that. It seriously gives it like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm like, oh my goodness, y'all. It just takes so much guesswork out. Oh, and it's just so nice, y'all, because it's just like one less thing that we have to have weighing heavy on our brain. Um, Now, granted, on a side note, when it comes to meal planning, I like to create and print out a template version on Canva. And again, you don't have to be this extra, but I love printing out from Canva an open list of what's for dinner. And it's titled What's for Dinner. That way, like when my husband comes in from his 12-hour shift, he doesn't have to ask me, like, hey, what are we having for dinner tonight? Like, I love the fact that he can actually look at the list and it's one less thing that I have to think about. It saves us altogether where it answers his question, and I'm not irritated. He's happy. He knows what to expect. I know what to expect. It's like the best thing, y'all. If you have kiddos or grandkids, same thing. If they're able to read, they can go to the list, and you can tell them if they're like, "Mom, Dad, what's for dinner?" Well, it's Tuesday. Look on the fridge. It's going to tell you what we're having tonight. And they can look and know. This can honestly easily just be, again, copy and pasted, printed out, which is so cool too. I love that it keeps it so simple, y'all. And then you can even include too, like if you're wanting to say, also like for a family of four with two picky kids, include vegetables as well. But yeah, y'all get the idea. We really don't have to read through this, but I love that it's like breakfast for dinner, sloppy Joe sliders, creamy mac and cheese with hidden veggies. Hello, it's including the aspects of kids that are picky eaters, easy meatball subs. And it's like, would your kids eat these, or do you need some backup options? Oh, I just love it so much, y'all. It's like the coolest thing ever. All right, so moving on, I've got two more examples that I want to show y'all. Or actually, did we already? I think we may have already gone over the Cincy Club perks. I don't know why that put that at the beginning. That's weird. But last but not least, if you are anything like me, when I am, because I am always focusing on sponsoring more, growing my team, right? And there, of course, are going to be times when you come into contact with somebody that you're talking to about the join opportunity, and they may give you a reason of why it's not a good time, right? So this is one thing that I really like. You can not only use this as a way to communicate with those specific customers, people that you're talking to that are potential dream team, potential team members that you're wanting to possibly talk about the join opportunity, but also these are things that you can easily put in your stories. You can copy and paste the idea to your stories. You can make it look like your own. You can copy and paste it. Again, you can use these for Instagram content, Facebook content. Absolutely love it. This is also a good training that you can do if you have your own team members. But I asked it to give me 7 rebuttals. Again, 7 is just a random number that I threw out. It could look different for you. It doesn't have to be 7, I promise. Give me 7 rebuttals to a customer that isn't sure about joining with Cincy. Again, I want to make it more specific to my personality, and I wanted to stand out more. So I asked ChatGPT to give me not only those rebuttals, but make it heartfelt and fun. So ChatGPT said, here are 7 heartfelt and fun rebuttals for a customer who isn't sure about joining Cincy. So again, you're seeing these subjects. So the rebuttals are, I'm not sure if I'd be good at it. I don't have time. I'm not a salesperson. I don't know enough people. Y'all, how many times are we hearing this from people that we're approaching that we know would really, really do well either with Cincy, or there's something that we know that's within them, or they would have fun, or whatever the case may be, that we know that they would make an incredible Cincy consultant, or they would have so much fun, or they love Cincy so much, why not get paid from it, right? So these are the things that we hear from them. And I love so much that I didn't have to provide this to ChatGPT, but obviously consultants along the way are doing something similar. So that's where these ideas are coming from. I'm afraid of failing. I don't know enough people. It's not the right time. What if I don't like it? I love so much that it's not only like, for example, if you're wanting to do a story, Facebook story, Instagram story, you could say, like, you can, again, post a photo of yourself because people want to see you, believe it or not. And then you can see, type out text wise, say, it's not the right time. So, point of view, it's not the right time, POV, and then colon. And then below that, you want to do a separate text, separate word, or like a little speech bubble, basically. And then you could seriously, like, either crop out the individual response here and just add that as a photo. Or if you're posting it to your pages on Instagram or Facebook, then same thing. You would just say, like, type the question at the top, or in quotes, but like, it's not the right time. And then at the bottom, give it some space and then put the rebuttal. There's so many different ways that you could go about this, but I love, love, love that it's giving these rebuttals. So we'll just go over one real quickly. For example, so one of the things that I hear so often from my people is that I'm not a salesperson. The rebuttal, perfect. Neither was I. You don't have to sell, just share what you love and the magic happens. If you've ever told a friend about a great restaurant or your favorite perfume, congrats. You've already been a salesperson without even knowing it. You guys, I mean, is this like gold or what? Because honestly, again, I have spicy brain. So it's like there are these things that I want to do and ideas that I have, but just coming out with like the verbiage and articulating my ideas and taking them from like my brain and applying them to like pen and paper, 9 times out of 10 is a bit of a struggle. So further down, I love that it asks, would you like help customizing these for specific concerns you've heard from potential team members? Now, that would obviously, that question would entail if you do have a team and your team members have come to you and they're like, man, I really want to grow my team. I really want to promote. I asked so-and-so to join. This is what they said. This would be something that you could either copy and paste what that conversation looked like, or you can type in that specific thing that that person had a rebuttal, and you want to know like how can you come back and take a spin on what that specific thing that that person said, if that makes sense. I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing my screen, so y'all give me 1 second so I can navigate back. There we are. Stop sharing. Oh yeah. Welcome back. So hopefully y'all got something from that. If you couldn't already tell, I am super passionate when it comes to ChatGPT. And honestly, there's not a day that goes by that I'm not using it for something. Another thing that I did not include on there because I didn't feel like it was necessary, but I will cover with y'all here, face to face, is that if you ever have a situation where, like, let's just say that you have a friend, family member, customer, person, individually that is going through a hard time, or maybe they had a recent family loss, or maybe you're just wanting to pick them up a little bit. A lot of times, like, again, I find that I have what I want to say up here mentally, but I'm having a really hard time getting it either through text or writing it down, whatever the case may be. If I'm sending a greeting card, I love that I can type that into ChatGPT. I love that I can ask it, give me what to say to a friend who's going through a hard time, include a positive quote. Isn't that awesome? And then it just says it, and then I can actually just write that in and then fill it out. Again, because I've used ChatGPT over and over and over, it knows my hobbies, it knows that what I collect, it knows what I like because I've used it for so many things that I remember a while back, I went into ChatGPT and I asked it, I said, give me a paragraph describing me. And it did. And it was like the coolest thing ever because it basically just took all of the things that I've asked from it over the last 2 years and just put that into a paragraph describing my personality, which was really awesome. But hopefully y'all got something from that. Again, feel free to reach out to me one-on-one, no matter where it looks like. If you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to comment on this video. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. Whatever that looks like for you, reach out to me, ask your questions. I'm excited to see, honestly, what you use ChatGPT for, y'all. I feel like I've said that over and over so many times that like now I'm getting tongue-tied. But I'm excited to see what you use it for. And if you don't mind, please reach out to me and share with me what you're using it for, especially if it's maybe something different than what you've seen on this training. I honestly, for like a whole year 2 years ago when I first started using it, I never, ever, ever would have thought to use it for like dinner ideas. And to me, it's so funny because I use it so much for that now. It's like, of course I'm going to use it for dinner ideas. But 2 years ago or a year ago, I never would have thought to actually use it for that. But the thing is like, it's just like Google. So like when you go to Google and you're asking it these rando questions that are off the wall, especially if you're like me and I think about the most random things, or I need to know who that actor is in that movie or what the lyrics are to a song. It's the same thing, y'all, with ChatGPT. It's like if you are coming to a crossroads where you're like, man, I really want to post about this awesome St. Patrick's Day collection that's coming out, but I just don't know what to say. And that's where I feel like I just get like, I overthink it and I get mind blocked, even if I've been a consultant for well over 5 years now, y'all. Like, I have those moments. So I love that I can go to ChatGPT and I can ask it, give me a caption for Facebook that talks about the Cincy St. Patrick's Day collection, Or I can say, give me a funny quote for St. Patrick's Day, and I can copy and paste that quote with the image that Cincy provided us with the St. Patrick's Day collection. Because even though it's a flyer photo, if you're individually come up with something that's more unique to you, verbiage wise, and you're attaching that to the flyer, if you're wanting to use a flyer, you can help you can help yourself stand out more by the verbiage that you're using. So thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. One thing, if you're watching this on YouTube, one thing that you could definitely help me out with to get this content out to more people is not only giving me a thumbs up on this video, but commenting and subscribing. So that way you're not only going to be able to come back to this video, but you're going to be alerted to all the other awesome videos to come for this year. So again, thanks for hanging out with me, y'all, and reach out to me and let me know how you're utilizing and working with ChatGPT.